Okay, so for this clip, we're talking about using our five senses for grounding. So this skill can be used as a mindfulness exercise. It can be used as a distress tolerance exercise to get us through stressful moments. Um, and basically, what we do is we are using our senses to ground us in our present reality. So, our physical realities, what's going on in our bodies, and what we can experience using our five senses. So, a really simple way that we can use our senses when we're feeling anxious is doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is basically um, paying attention to our environment and noticing five things you can see, four things you can touch, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, and one thing you can taste. And doing that whenever we're feeling panicked, whenever we're feeling sort of out of our bodies or overwhelmed by thoughts, um, we can use this exercise to bring us back. Um, and that's the main thing that I wanted to bring to you today. But I also want to talk about each sense in a little bit more detail, so that we can get a better idea of how we can use them to our advantage. So, using sight, what we see every day really does settle into our physiology, and it has a powerful effect on us. So, if you think about being at home so much during COVID, surrounding ourselves with things that we find beautiful can actually send messages to our minds and our bodies that we can relax, that we can be at peace. So whether that be our furniture that we like, maybe house plants that we enjoy, our art on the wall um, that we find beautiful, these are important aspects to creating a calm environment. And I mean, sight can be used in more than just our home if we think about the beauty of nature. And I'll talk more about that in just a minute. So, smell. Our sense of smell is the sense that's closest linked to our memory, which is really interesting when you think about the fact that when we smell something, we can actually be transported back to a different time. We can access different emotions. So, this can be a super powerful tool to use. Obviously, with smells, sometimes it can trigger bad memories as well. But just to know that we can also use that for the good memories. So, whether that's food, the smell of a food, or flowers, or a type of shampoo, even can bring us sort of comforting emotions, and it can really be powerful in shifting our mood. So sound, of course, I was mentioning the sound, the sight of nature. Also, sounds of nature is a really powerful, soothing tool that we can use. So even if we're not out in the wilderness, we can use nature sounds on Google or on the internet to help us fall asleep. But even keeping our windows open, being able to listen to the birds chirp or the sound of the wind in the trees, or just noticing the sounds around your house, listening to other people around you, listening to a song that you love, or listening to the food cooking on the stove, anything like that. Taste is such a phenomenal way to ground ourselves in the moment. But practicing mindful eating isn't something that we are used to doing. So, really focusing our awareness on the experience of the food. So, the smells, the taste, the textures, and really allowing ourselves to enjoy and indulge in those flavors that we love, the flavors that are comfortable to you. This can be a really great grounding experience and mindfulness practice. Touch is also very important for regulating our immune systems and our nervous systems and keeping our immune systems strong. So being in a pandemic, we can't always get those supportive touches that we need from others, depending on your situation. If you've been living alone, you'll know how hard that was throughout this pandemic, especially in the winter when we were not able to get those hugs that we needed from our loved ones. So I wanted to take a moment to also focus on this. And it's not perfect, but there are ways that we are able to hold ourselves and sort of practice that self-soothing for our own nervous systems. So in the summer, you might not want to do this, but these are the options that I have here. So taking a hot bath or shower, washing your sheets so they're nice and warm when you get into bed, massaging your own hands, feet, and legs, massaging your temples and jaw. And of course, if you do have family that you live with or roommates, giving them hugs and cuddles if it makes sense to do so. And if you have pets, of course, cats or dogs or any other animals around, you can pet your animals and snuggle up with them too. There's also a number of self holds that I wanted to provide you with, and I'll just go through them really quickly with you here. So self holds, side cranial hold looks like this, just cradling your temple. Front to back cranial hold looks like this. So holding the back of your neck to your forehead. Forehead to heart is like the picture here in the slideshow. Heart to belly. And then solar plexus, base of the neck. So solar plexus is just mid chest where your ribs come together and the back of your neck. Okay. And that's all for the 5 senses.